Hey y'all, it's Hope Crafty Hope. Welcome. I am about to work on the Mixed Media Menagerie for December of 2022. I'm running way behind on this, but I wanted to do it because I have done all the other prompts this year and kind of want to make sure I finish it up. There'll be a flip through the first Wednesday in January, I believe. So keep an eye out for that. I know that the three hosts are going to do it, and as a guest artist, I think I was a guest artist in June, I wanted to do it as well. So anyway, the three prompts from Mixed Media Menagerie this month are tip-in, carve a stamp, and colored ink pad. That sounds like a lot of fun to me. Tip-in's a little tough. I don't do a lot of tip-ins, but I saw the guest artist Shar did a tip-in with a tag, and I thought that was a great idea. So I think I'm gonna do that. And then for colored ink pads, I'll probably use my Distress Oxide. I think everybody so far has done colored Distress Oxides, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure. I love Distress Oxides, so I'll probably be using that. And for carve a stamp, y'all know I carve stamps, but I carved two new ones especially for this. They are on erasers from the dollar store, as is my jam. I'll put a link up here to a little tutorial I've got on me carving. I do recommend, if you're new to carving, maybe go ahead and get the Speedy Carve. It's a lot easier to carve than these rubbery erasers are. I will say that much. So I do it because I am a cheapskate. No, I'm very frugal. So this is the journal I've been using for all of Mixed Media Menagerie. I will do my flip through in January, but for now I'm going to work on this page. This is a cheap journal I got from the Dollar Tree that I've been gluing the pages together and then prepping with just some white gesso. I have taken the last of the pages out because it's starting to get a little wonky here. So I went ahead and took the last pages out, and I'm going to do this one. All right, guys, I'm going to voice over the rest of this. Let's go. The first thing I decided to do, I don't know, I was compelled to pull out my chunky pencil that was sitting on my desk and just scribble onto that white page. And then I love that this will blur a little. So yeah, I just ran my finger over it, blurred it out. And I'm going to come in with some collage. I'm using my bucket of scraps along with some Artist Almanac pages from 2022 that I've got stacks of those, y'all, for the whole year, that are beautiful little collage pieces. Anyway, so I'm just using scraps and whatever I've got, and I'm not going to collage the whole page. I am using my Oohoo glue stick, but I have found in this process that I like keeping some white space on these pages because otherwise they feel far too heavy to me, and I don't like that super heavy feeling. That's just a me thing. Now, I failed to mention, I realized who the hosts are for Mixed Media Menagerie, and that is Nicole Watson, Erin DeCoste, and Laura Mixed Media, I believe. I'll have links to all of them below. And this month, their guest artist is Shar. I can't remember Shar's last name, but again, I will have links to their videos for these December prompts so that you can watch them because they are pretty awesome. So, yes, this is the last one, I believe. I'm not sure if they're going to do Mixed Media Menagerie next month or not. I know that Nicole said in her video that they're trying to figure out what they want to do, if they're going to do it, and if anybody has any ideas or suggestions, to email her. So definitely hit up Nicole if you've got some ideas. So I am just about done. Like I said, I'm going to leave quite a bit of white space on here. I almost glued that down upside down. These are some of those Artist Almanac pages. I did not get one of the Artist Almanacs for 2023 because I'm still working with the pages I have from 2022. So as much as I want to see what's in the 2023 one, I took a little bit of restraint and decided I have a lot going on, and I didn't want to overburden myself. So all right, so I have these two stamps that I carved, and this first one kind of almost looks like a lined page. I don't know why I wanted to do that. I kind of want to do a round one like this too, I think. But I started with the rectangular one, and I'm going to do all of them in seedless preserves. for stamping for the up and down. And then I'm using Blueprint Sketch Distress Oxide with this kind of like layered round one. And I'm keeping the kind of point, I guess you would say, to this up. Y'all, this was just a thing for me. I was using these 4 colors I picked out that I really like to, yeah, I'm using my favorite colors. So this one is, oh, of course, I say it's my favorite color, and then I can't tell you what color that is. It's either Mermaid, I think it's Mermaid Lagoon, but if not, I'll have it below. And this last one is Shaded Lilac. So you see I'm alternating the stamps and their orientations, basically is all I am doing with this. And I realized here, once I get them all done, I'm going to grab a wet paintbrush and blur all the edges. Y'all, it's my jam. I love taking a wet paintbrush and blurring these, and it was so fun to do, especially on top of a collage in gesso, because you get to see kind of how the Distress Oxides react to different papers. Now, it worked really great. You can see on the outside edges here on the gesso, but some of those like vintage papers and whatnot in the center, like there, those Distress Oxides just did not blur. It's very interesting how the water just soaked up and it didn't do too much of the blurring. So it was fun to try and experiment. But I realized I didn't hardly stamp at all in the middle, and I knew my focal wasn't going to be in the middle because I was going to do the tip-in off to the right side the way Char had done hers with the tag. So I knew I needed to get some more stamps in the middle, but first I'm going to blur this a little bit more by spraying my distress sprayer with some water right onto those stamps and letting them kind of drip and move around. Just like that. Now, before I'm going to stamp that middle, I will go ahead and try this because I didn't think it would stamp so great with just wet paper and whatnot. So, and I will come back in and do one more stamp of each of these. Now, I didn't get the orientation right when I did this. I think here you can see me, I'm thinking about how I wanted to fix that. And so I just kind of like swapped the orientation for the colors. Again, this was just something that was going on in my head. It had nothing to do with what I'm ending up with. It was just kind of, I guess, like a methodical, too logical thing for me. To alter my tag, I decided to do who did it? Was it Erin, I think, that put her Distress Oxides down? No, maybe, I can't remember. I watched all 4 of the hosts' videos, and now I've got them all mixed up in my head. But I'm putting the ink down 2 of the colors. I put the Blueprint Sketch and the Shaded Lilac there, and I'm dipping my tag into it, and then I'm going to clean everything up and dry my tag, and I'm going to try the whole picking up the color from it with my stamps. And I do it on both sides, but this side shows up better, but it doesn't work really well at all. I think because I dried the ink and had too much, I don't know, because the colors were so pale and all of that, that you can see it a little bit on this side, but it's not really what I was hoping for. So I'm going to have to try this again in some other way. But I just wanted to show you that I did try this, that I stamped the water onto my Distress Oxides and then tried picking it up. So I'll show it to you here. I don't know if you can see it. It's not great. Yeah, I'm thinking real hard about that. So I'm going to clean all this up and then use the other 2 colors, the Seedless Preserves and why can't I remember the name of that, y'all? I'm looking at it and it's too tiny in my little viewfinder here for me to tell you what it's called. It's either Mermaid Lagoon or Peacock Feathers. Maybe it's Peacock Feathers. Ooh, that could be right. How awful am I? I will definitely have it below. So I put those 2 down, wet them, and then put my tag through it. I did try to pick up some of the color with the stamping with water, but it didn't work. So I'm not going to put y'all through that because it didn't work. So I'm going to futz here for a while, thinking on what I want to do. I decided I needed a little more black on my page. So I've taken my Stabilo All and I'm doing some fairly tiny little scribbly circles around on the spread. And of course, because it's me and those things are water reactive, I am going to activate them with some water. Yeah, just taking that kind of flat paintbrush, and I'm not even smearing it so much as just almost laying the wet paintbrush on top of those little dots. Did I miss? No, I got them all. Okay. So I'm just activating those. And again, because of the different textures on there, because of the collage and the gesso and all of that, they all reacted a little bit differently. It's super interesting to kind of experiment and play with that. And add a little more of that black on there. You can see I scribbled the Stabilo off onto my underpaper and wet it. And using a fan brush, I'm just splattering both on my card and on my spread. I did get a little bit of that Stabilo on the back side of the card. I wasn't super fussed about it. I took a while, y'all. I cut that out because I took a really, really long time to pick out a focal for this and decided on a vintage photo in my stash. And I went for a like landscape orientation one so it could overlap that tip in, like hang off the side a little. That was important to me. And I've got a piece of a fabric napkin that I'm trimming down here and also some embroidery floss on a needle. And I am going to basically just sew that picture, which I'm going to tear first because it's a little too long. So I'm going to tear it down and then stitch it. Just do some big up and down stitches to stitch that card to that fabric card, that vintage photo to the fabric. Yeah. And that's, yeah, because I didn't want to stitch through my tip in because I wasn't sure what I was going to do on the back side yet. And I didn't want that much texture added to it. So that was just the idea. So these, I think it's like 5 long stitches just to make sure that napkin sticks to, and then an extra one so you can see the kind of the color of it because it's like a periwinkle-ish color similar to what's going on that tag. It worked out. It was already threaded sitting in my what do you call it? Pin cushion. Oh my gosh. It was sitting in my pin cushion. So I'll use matte gel medium to stick the napkin and photo to the tag. And this gets all very fiddly because the way I'm going to attach everything just got kind of wonky here. Think about how you're going to do things. I probably should have put my tape down before I stuck all this down. I should have gone ahead and put my tip in on my page because with all of that fabric hanging off now, everything gets super fiddly. I'm using this Tim Holtz tissue tape because I love it. It's subtle. It doesn't become like a statement or anything. I like that it just kind of blends into things. And I cut out some of my futzing where my fabric was sticking to this tape, but you can see I'm futzing with it a bit there. So there was a lot more messing with it. Once I stick it down, I decided to go ahead and put another layer of the tissue tape on top of that just to make sure it's super secure because I knew I wasn't going to be able to put any on the front side because I've already glued all that stuff on the front side because I wasn't thinking. So, my bad. So once I get this down, I'm going to pull out some sentiments. I end up deciding on my sticker book from Art by Marlene stickers from Joggles. I'll put a link to that below. They might still have them. I'm not positive. But I thought about even writing something, and I wanted to say like the end since I knew it was the last page in this book, and I ended up finding this sticker that says and so the story ends, and I thought, okay, that's absolutely perfect for this little tip in for the last page here. So I'm gonna stick those down super quick. And I think that's going to be it for this, y'all. I leave it at that. I didn't want to overthink this too much. I hope you have enjoyed this, that if you have any questions, you will ask me. Leave a comment. Give me that thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and check out Laura Nicole, Aaron, and Char's videos. Until next year, I will actually I will see you before the end of the year maybe, but yeah, probably not any more mixed media. All right. Y'all have a beautiful new year. Bye.